Hi, welcome to Empower Today. This week we've been thinking about Jesus saying, I am the way, the truth and the life in John chapter 14. I'm down here at a stream that I used to play in as a kid. We would build dams, or try to. We never actually quite did it. We were more like the dam busters. And we would find frogs and play with those. And we would go home most days drenched, muddy, dirty. But we'd had great fun in the stream down here at Longmead. I need to stand up because of my knees. Oh. I could almost, if it wasn't flowing so fast, see my reflection in that stream. If the sun was brighter, I'd be able to see it even more clearly. And we see God in a fragmented way, really, in the Bible. To begin with, you have Abraham, who is called by God. He doesn't know to follow him, and he follows him. Then as the story goes on, Moses meets God at a burning bush that is not consumed. And he doesn't know God's name, but wants to know it so that he can control God. And God says, I am who I am, or I will be who I will be. And then you have the prophets and the kings, and they give us a clearer view of God. So what we have through the Bible is, the technical term is progressive revelation. We have this progressive revealing of who God is, more and more and more, until we get to Jesus, the Son of the living God. And Jesus says in this passage in John 14, I am the way, the truth and the life. No one gets to the Father except through me. And he says this, and Thomas says, hang on a minute, Jesus, we don't know how to get there. And Jesus says, you get there through me. And Thomas wants to see God the Father, and Jesus says, look, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Jesus is the perfect reflection of God. So if you've got a warped view of God, if you've been reading some really weird websites or some churches that are really unhelpful, or you've had experiences in your past, or your Sunday school teacher has told you that God really doesn't like you and is out to get you and is always slightly miffed with you, is Jesus like that? Because Jesus says, if you want to know what God's like, look at me. So how does Jesus treat people who are of a different ethnic origin to him? The Syrophoenician woman, for example. He treats them with dignity. How does Jesus treat women? In Jesus' day, they said, it is better to burn the Bible than to teach it to a woman. That was the offensive view they had of women. Jesus sits down with Mary while Martha is busying herself and cooking, and teaches Mary about God. The first witnesses of Jesus' resurrection, yep, you got it, they were women. Jesus treated them with dignity. Children, seen but not heard? No, not in Jesus' case. When in Mark 10 the disciples are shooing the mothers and the children away, Jesus becomes, it says, indignant. And he says, let the children come to me. And he puts them on his lap and he blesses them. Those who have physical limitations or disability, Jesus treats them with dignity and often heals them. So if we want to know what God is like, look at Jesus. Look at the reflection of God in Jesus. Jesus is somebody who levelled the playing field and said everyone is welcome just as they are, which is part of our vision and values at Tonbridge Baptist Church. Everyone is welcome just as they are. And Jesus says, follow me, because I am the way, the truth and the life. And if you start following me, you'll see what God is really like. Have you got some naff, can I use that phrase, views of God, some warped ideas that have been fed into you? Can I encourage you to take those warped, those naff ideas, and read them through the lens of Jesus in the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, and see what an amazing God it is that we follow, rather than those ideas that are maybe rusting your faith at the edges. I am the way, the truth and the life, says Jesus. If you want to know what God looks like, look at me, he says. I encourage you, I encourage me, I encourage us to do that together. Stay safe.